Hey guys, welcome back to another video. A few of you have asked me how it is I organize myself for studying all the material that goes into vet school. So I'm going to take you behind the scenes into my Notion dashboard. Now, if you're not familiar with Notion, I highly recommend you download it. It is free if you are a student, but even if you end up with the paid version, I think it's only like $4 a month. And I can promise you it is well worth it if you are someone that likes to really organize yourself, whether it is with school or daily tasks, habits, even reading lists, or any type of work function, anything really. If it needs to be organized, I highly recommend Notion. So without delaying any further, let me take you into my Notion dashboard so you can see how I'm actually organizing all of my classes and studying. All right, this is the inside of my Notion dashboard. Everybody's Notion dashboard is going to look different because part of the beauty of this platform is the fact that it is 100% customizable. I chose to make each one of my classes a visual representation because I like that type of input, but somebody else might prefer a different view. So let's see what a table view would look like. If I wanted to list my classes like this instead of that visual aspect, I could totally do that. And there are a number of different views. If you like, say, a board, like maybe you're really into Kanban boards or something like that, we could do that. I am going to stick with the gallery view. Again, this video is not supposed to be a Notion tutorial on how I organize vet school, but if you are interested in that, just put it in the comments below. I'll also list some links for other YouTubers that have made some phenomenal Notion videos that have helped me. All right, so what you're looking at here are representations of all of the classes that I'm in. Foundations. This is one that covers a lot of different topics that we will be building on over the next 3 years. So let's dive in here first. Every single one of these is what we call its own page. So I'm going to open this up so that it's a wider view here. Everything you see here is something that we've covered in lecture with our professors. Let's start with cytology. So if we look at cytology and how I've done this, I've included in here the objectives. Now, I can choose what I include in my page. It's just like free form. I can type whatever I want and give it certain attributes. I chose to list my objectives, and I chose the tags that I wanted on all of this material. I also chose to upload the files that I would be using. So if I click on this, each one of these is a file that's relevant to class. Some of them are actual screenshots that I took from lecture. Some of them are files that our professor provided to us. So I have access to all of those right there. Down here, each one of these is a topic within this particular class. So first we had cell basics, then we went over metabolism, tissues to organs. Now we are starting week 3. And we're covering homeostasis. So I started making notes in this today. Again, here's the summary. All the tags that I'm using for this, you'll notice that this one obviously has relevant tags. And then here are all the resources that the professor provided for us. Some of it is homework and some of it is strictly reading. Let's jump into overview of fluid therapy. Here's the reading that was assigned, so I don't actually have to leave Notion. I can access everything that I need right here. I go through that and then I come back into this area, and let's say I want to make notes, which I did. So it looks like I didn't write very much, but you'll notice these are toggles. So the way I study is I read the material, and while I'm reading, I start typing questions, whether the answers are in the reading or not. They're questions that if I don't know how to answer them immediately right off the bat, then I'm going to make it part of my study routine. So what's critical to normal circulation? If I click this toggle, it's going to provide me with all of that information right here. In theory, before I click this toggle, I should be able to answer all of these. And this is how I can keep track of how quickly and comfortably I can recall material. Inside of this, I actually posed another question. Well, what happens if there's any abnormalities in any of these? Well, then there's my answer right there. Well, then we expanded further in the conversation regarding shock. So what is it? Cause, categories, and the treatment. So the what is it? There's my answer there. Here's what causes it. Here's all my categories. And within categories, I need to know specific information about each one of those. And so you get the idea here. And I can collapse any one of these or I can expand them all at once. Each one of these, I will make notes like that. So if I come back to my main dashboard, that was just in foundations and that was just cytology. If I wanted to do that in bones, I can do that in bones, muscle, epithelium, body cavities, etc. And it keeps everything in one place versus me having to jump back and forth in the school platform called VetMed Hub and jumping back and forth in different files on my desktop where I have the reading material stored. And all of that follows suit for each one of these classes. So like I said, this wasn't supposed to be a tutorial, but if you do have questions on how I personally created this dashboard, just let me know, and I'm happy to help if I can. So that was really kind of a 10,000 foot view of how I'm using Notion and how to build that out. It's a learning curve, at least it was for me. Now, if you're familiar with using a platform that is completely a blank slate, you might have this thing down really fast. It took me a little bit of time to really understand all of its features, and I'm still learning, but I can tell you that it is a game changer. If you are a student right now, if you aren't sure what platform to use, I would suggest giving Notion a try. And like I said, it's free, and this is not a sponsored video. Although Notion, if you're watching, slide into the DMs. Anyway, if you have any questions about how I made this dashboard, just put a comment in the, the part below where the comments go. I'll get to it as soon as I can. I am now going to jump back into this and continue making notes and all the toggle things and get ready for class tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me again for another video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you're super cool, hit subscribe. And it would be really awesome if you tapped that notification bell so that YouTube lets you know when I throw another video up here. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.